Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 48, episode 2.
On a random Saturday.
Yeah.
And we're not
We're
together.
here.
What's happening? This is weird, but we're still going to talk about it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Nerdtainment.
All right.
You're right. It's Saturday because I was traveling for work this
Yes.
week.
Which worked out perfectly because I was half dead this week.
Yes.
We
But
would
you're
not
better
have been
now.
able to do Saturday. I mean, Thursday, whatever it is. Yes, we're better. Here we are.
Still a little brain fog.
We are coming back from the Stephanie vote out.
Yeah.
Mary is shocked.
She's shocked. She's blindsided.
But Say seems the most shocked that her name was even written down.
She is. Whatever casting producer found her is probably like, thank you. Give me a raise. Like, you are amazing.
Give me all the money. Yep.
But she's like, look, Mary, no hard feelings that you wrote my name down. And Mary's like, yeah, right.
I don't believe that. No.
Yeah.
Not at all. She's like, look, no hard feelings, not at all. But I mean, I'm kind of surprised, but like, it's no big deal. But like, also, I will hold grudges, but like, I'm not going to hold a grudge.
Right. And then in confessional, she's like, I absolutely do hold grudges, and I have an idol and a core 4. So Mary, we're coming for you. Then we go over to Siva. We're getting right into it, Sarah. Nipples, 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 nipples. David has 4 nipples.
But this was like a bigger package of everyone has something weird. Apparently, Charity's
yes,
on one foot or just straight jacked up.
Yep.
We've got too many nipples, which he had removed.
2 of them removed.
12.
I couldn't tell if they were like scars, like if they were down below his like pecs.
There were like 2 markings.
Yeah.
Whether that's like a partial nipple or what that is.
He's then in confessional talking about milking himself. And I'm like, where are we going with this, Survivor?
He was like, look, even perfect people like me have weird things. And we all have weird things on this tribe, apparently. And we're just going to laugh about it.
Chrissy's like, I got a deep belly button and I can stick a whole Q-tip in it. And then Kyle, poor average, nothing special. Kyle's like, I have a callus. I've had this callus for 10 years. And they're like, well, that's a wart, but still not remarkable.
They're like, you know what? You're not average. That's actually a wart. That's not just a callus. That's a wart. He was literally like, oh, was it? Is it? They're like, you should maybe just get that checked out.
Yeah, just get that.
But Siva's having a blast. They're doing just fine over there.
I think Loggy is doing even better. They are riding high on all of their challenge wins. They're like, we're going to have to sit somebody out at the next challenge. Who are we going to sit out? And everyone's like, I guess Star. We don't really like her. And
not everyone. That is when you zip it. Who are we going to sit out? You zip it. That is not a conversation you have a day ahead or something. No.
Yeah. Well,
no. Poor Eva's like, oh, okay, let's figure this out. I guess Star. Oh God, no.
Star's
that's
like,
what we don't say.
Yeah. Well, Star's like, I'm not into that.
No, Star was like,
I'm
to
not
the jungle brain. I go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me find the. Oh, here it is. Beware advantage.
Here it is.
Okay.
There it is.
It was a very short search that she went through.
It seemed like it, yeah. But you know what's even shorter? The time she kept it a secret.
Oh my God. And it's like you just came from this moment where you're feeling disconnected from everyone and like you don't have allies, and then you're going to go give your information away. I mean, Joe's the right person to do it. Unfortunately, Eva got to him first, so he's got a number one. But she goes to Joe. Then he tells Shaheen, because he's like, I'm supposed to be in with these people. I can't keep Star's secret from them. So he's got to not be shady and tell Shaheen. So then Shaheen is taking the puzzle to try to crack it because Star's like, I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, especially if it's something you can't, you're like, well, this isn't my skill set. I need help with this. You pick that one person. You build trust with them. They help you solve it. And that's it. Right. But like this quickly becomes, oh, I'm telling Joe, but we are going to need Shaheen to help crack it. And then, oh, by the way, let me just go tell Thomas and Bianca.
Star walks up to Sarah and I And she's like, I want Eva. She, she feels like she has power now that she has this beware advantage. And she's like, I want to get Eva out. I thought of you, Sarah. I was like, Sarah is none too pleased that anybody's coming for Eva, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't love it, but I don't love that Star's on the out either. Like that never feels good
Yeah.
when you are the one who just like can't connect with somebody else. I hate that. I
Mm-hmm.
wish that people could fake it a little better, so that that one person doesn't realize they're on the outs.
Yeah.
So like I get it, and plus Eva was like, "Hey, Star should sit out." I'd probably be going for Eva too if she said that about me. So I get all of this, but I was really like, "No, girl, Star. Why does everyone know about your advantage now?" Which, by the
Yeah.
way, is just a lost vote at this point.
Right. Yeah. You don't really have power. And the power really is in Shaheen's hands because he has the code breaker thingy. So Shaheen goes to Thomas and he's like, look at this code thing that Star gave me. And Thomas says, what if that disappears?
Lose it. Just lose it.
Throw it in the ocean.
Oh, I think my reaction was Shaheen's. Like, I'm sorry, what are you saying?
No. And
Thomas is
Shaheen was like,
"Oh, it won't be your fault. You just play it off like it's not your fault." I'm sorry. Who has it? Whose hands is it in?
right. He's like, what are you suggesting, Thomas? This is diabolical. And you're implicating me because Star gave me the code breaker.
That is one step a little too far, Thomas. One step there. And Alexandra, thank you, pointing it out. Yes,
Thank
Thomas
you.
is like,
Yes.
I will be the villain. Here I am. Although I wonder if it was in Thomas's hands, would it really disappear, or is it easier to tell someone else?
Oh, much easier. Yeah.
Just disappear it.
Just throw that away.
If it was
Who
just
cares?
not here.
Who cares?
Okay.
It's so funny. So Shaheen's like, I don't know if I trust that Thomas guy.
Wisely.
Yeah. And
Thomas is now on his list.
right. So then Shaheen goes to Joe now. And he's like, guess what just happened? Star brought in Thomas and Bianca. Everybody knows about this thing. And Joe's like
what?
We are not leaving Eva out of this. So he goes and tells her.
Of course. Got to protect Eva. And of course, she's grateful. Yes.
That was such a long segment, by the way. I was like, we have been with Loggy for 10 minutes with this segment. I thought surely that was going to like lead us to a tribal council with Loggy, but did not pan out that way. But I was like, wow, this is a lot of time.
No, because there is a clear hot mess.
A clear hot mess, which is
that will continue to go to tribal, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
At the end of days.
So Kevin and Justin and Cedric on the hot mess tribe, Vula, they're kind of like Kevin's saying, like, I want Say out because I want that idol back in the game, which is just a little taste of what's to come because right now we're going to get the boat journey.
Right. Well, first off, why are there so many flies at this camp? Like, that's not a good thing. This is like the apocalypse. What's happening over here? And I was like, this is bold. I mean, like, we get an edit and we have different information than the players do. But, like, when Kevin is just like, hey, Cedric, Say is clearly the next vote. Let's get Say out. I was like, wait, what? Does he not understand the Cedric Say duo?
It's really, it's a lot of like boldness in this episode. Thomas, make that thing disappear. Kevin, we need to get Say's idol back in the game rather than like hinting things to people and letting it be their idea. Like you could say like, man, it kind of sucks that Say has the idol so early and like none of us are ever going to get it. What are we going to do about that? And then maybe Cedric could be like, right. And then Cedric or Justin is like, well, what if we got Say out, right? Like, let it be someone else's idea.
Right. You hint it. You plant the seeds. But yeah, it does seem like we're getting a bunch of like, so obviously the next person is this.
Yeah.
But then I have Cedric wants to take Mary out.
Well, because he loves Say. He's really close to Say. And so he's like, I'm not going to let her go.
Did he just say that to us? Y'all,
I think so.
I don't know what I wrote down.
It's fine. More important was the boat journey here, Sarah.
Okay, great. Let's go to the boat journey.
I like how they did the numbers thing.
Right?
Like introduced a method for everybody to use to determine who's going on the boat journey.
Great. I loved this. It forced everyone to participate, whether you wanted to or not. You could fake whether you wanted to or not. Whatever, didn't matter. No picking volunteers. No rock, paper, scissors. And is this a new game or do we know this game? Like,
I had never seen this game before. It's rock, paper, scissors-esque insofar as it's like 1, 2, 3, shoot. But I did like this, the lowest unique number. So if 2 people throw a 1, the person who threw a 2, you know, they're going to be the one who goes. So I like this game.
So you're like, do I want a 1, 2? What do I want to do? If I'm going to just do a 3, you're probably safe. Yeah, I really liked this. This was interesting.
So Thomas and Mitch win from Loggy and Siva. And then, of course, Vula has to be a bit of a mess. And they have to do a practice round, which I'm sure they did on the other tribes, but like they didn't show it. But they're like,
is it practice round?
Is it shoot on 3 or do you 3 and then shoot? Like they can't get that together. So they do the practice, which Say wins. And she's like, cool. Why don't we just call that good? And they're like, that was the practice. And so then they do it again and Mary wins and Say is pissed.
So he's like, are you kidding me? And she had no support. They were like, they should have just let me go.
Right.
But it was a practice round, was it? Did they all agree? I don't know. Not clear. But the point is Mary's going to go. And of course, she's stoked.
Oh, yeah,
at the possibility of help. And Say is so mad.
She's so mad.
She fake waves and sniffs her armpit.
Yes. Oh, my God. And I'm like, when she gets so worked up about everything really so far. Yeah. And we talked last episode, like Say is someone you want to keep in the game because she's a good shield, but good Lord, that energy would be horrible to be around. Like it really would be hard to breathe through that and say, no, I got to keep her because.
I mean, I think it would be hard for people like us because we are similarly loud and opinionated. But I think there are some people who could probably be like chill and let her sort of take that sort of shield way, which Cedric seems to be one of those who's like, yeah, I'm cool like that.
I actually love Say. He's like, I wanna keep her right there. She's great for me.
Yep. And she is. So, the 2 of them are great together. Yeah.
The puzzle for the journey is this like 3 rows of numbers. You gotta put them in numerical order. Honestly, it didn't seem that hard to me. I was like, I think I could figure this out in the time.
Yeah, I do too. I thought it was fun because it does take a little bit of thought of like, oh, it's not just slide,
you can't just get like the 2 rows. You got to get all 3 and then,
you have to kind of work together. So it takes like a second layer of thought. But you always have that pressure of the timer, you know, that just kind of amps you up. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. And 2 of the 3 are going to get it.
I know. That's sort of like confirmed, like, okay, yeah, maybe not that hard because Mitch and Thomas both win. Mary loses. I really expected her to win, actually. Like, she seems quite smart to me from what we've seen so far. Not that she's not smart because she didn't win this puzzle, but she couldn't figure this one out, and that's a bummer. But she doesn't lose power, right? It's just that Thomas and Mitch gained a steal a vote advantage.
Well, she does lose her vote.
Oh, she did. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So if you lose your vote. So she's going to lose her vote. And then Mitch is going to get a block a vote, which is fun. And Thomas is going to get a steal a vote. I kind of loved that there were different advantages.
I did not register that. Okay. I'm glad you took those notes, Sarah. Good notes.
I was awake for that part. Yes. So I liked that those were different and that was fun. And then, of course, we're going to get different lies and truths as we go back.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas is like, I didn't even compete. Not worth it.
Not worth it.
I can't risk it. No.
Which is like, I don't believe anything you say.
I know. Mary, you know, she reveals that she lost her vote and Say's like, you don't seem too bummed because Say just like doesn't believe anything that's coming out of Mary's mouth.
Oh my God. Like that's the line of like, you don't have to say everything in your head.
It is sort of reminiscent of the Rome-Saul relationship last season where every chance Rome had, he would take a dig. He would come for Saul. He would follow him around, whatever. It's that dynamic all over again.
Yeah. I definitely feel like Say is our Rome this season of just like big personality, and some people can use that as a shield, and some people are like, oh my God, I cannot, you know?
Absolutely,
and unfortunately, like I think it works great for Cedric, but once we hit that merge, I feel like is when it becomes even harder, which I assume.
Well, and like Cedric is our Genevieve, right? Where she was like, I got to keep Rome. I'm going to put him right in front of me as a bulletproof vest. But then she couldn't save him at the merge. So I have a feeling a similar path is ahead for Say.
That's what it feels like. Yep.
Yeah.
But Mitch is going to be totally honest, and the tribe cheers.
He actually he one-ups himself. He's like, I got us all an advantage. Yeah. We all have a block a vote. I'm like, it's just one block a vote, actually.
Yeah. I was like, first off, it was secret. He could have played that secretly. So I don't know why we shared it. But he was like, guess what, guys? I won us an advantage. And they all appear like as if they're going to make merge together. And that's the thing. Together.
It's as though they are already having conversations as a tribe of like, we're not going to go to tribal until merge, probably.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got this for us, which we'll just have it in our back pocket until merge.
I'm like, well, I guess if he does use it before merge, they're gonna know he did it. But I guess who cares at this point?
Charity Charity cries. She's so happy for Mitch, and David does not trust him because there's a core 4 on this tribe as well. Remember, Charity and Mitch are on the outside of this core 4.
And they seemingly don't like Charity. Like that seems to be the she's the one on the outs. And so even though they like Mitch, he's connected to Charity. And so that's no good for Mitch, apparently. Which I was like, what are these dynamics?
Yeah.
What did Charity do?
I don't know. And I thought she seemed so lovely in her preseason interview stuff. Like she just seemed like the nicest person, but she's not vibing with them. And she did didn't she throw out
they don't like her
Kyle's name or something? She threw out Kyle's name to Camilla.
So that's it. She threw out Kyle's name, and Camilla was like, no bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting exiled. But they go look for the idol, the core 4.
Yes.
And Kyle finds it sort of with David. And he's like, I'm just an average guy. I cannot solve a puzzle. And so he's like, Camilla, you do it. And another little layer of this puzzle that they've created this season, I loved that they have this group of 6 letters that's going to ultimately spell 3 different words. It was listen for the one tribe. Now it's enlist. It's probably going to be silent for the next tribe because Camilla sort of goes through all of the opportunities.
I loved this because you and I both go, it's listen.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're so smart. It's so easy. And then when they started listing all the words, I was like, oops, we literally said one word and thought we had it.
When we got down to inlets, I was like, okay, how many options are there?
I was like, inlets? Oh, Lord. Okay. Luckily, Camilla is going to go through all of them and finally figure it out and list. Great. Wonderful. Love that. So fun.
Yep. Yeah. So now we have all of the idols in play, and it's Kyle and Say and Star. Did they get it for Star yet?
Star hasn't found it.
She hasn't solved the puzzle yet.
So we have 2 idols.
Got it.
But
2
all
idols.
3 bewares have been found.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go to immunity. Plus reward, a little fishing kit for the winners of this challenge.
Okay. We're out in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Star is going to sit out.
She is. And Camilla.
So I was like, there's no puzzle at the end. So, because they were like, we have to keep whoever it was for puzzle.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, so Star doesn't have to sit out. There's no puzzle. But maybe Star's not a water person.
Maybe not. Yeah. This one's very physical. They climb the tower. They swim under the water to release the buoys. And then they have to go across the balance beams. And it's the basketball kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. So we've got Mary, David, and Shaheen are diving for their tribes. They all get off to a great start very fast through the water.
I actually think it's easier to go by yourself, which I think they lead with the strongest
Yes.
swimmers. Those people go out by themselves. They're going to bust it, do great. The next two pairs have to do that thing where you're holding a ball with two sticks. That's hard in and of itself.
Really hard. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like all about the angle that you're holding the rod in relation to the ball. And then you've got to go across this balance beam that's like floating in the ocean. So it's very hard, but really it's Cedric who is struggling the most of anyone here. Like we get a couple falls. Loggy, they are the tribe to beat. They take an early lead again. Then Siva's right behind them, and Cedric is like falling and falling and falling. And Kevin's getting very frustrated and telling him, like, you have to hold the rod this way. And Say is like screaming her lungs out at the platform to Cedric to stop falling, which is not helpful feedback. And Mary's like, oh my God, you're so loud.
It doesn't help you not fall when someone tells you
No.
not to fall. That's not the key. But actually, Siva Orange struggled first, right? They fell behind, but then that last grouping with Cedric just unfortunately, and it did seemingly, it was just seemed like Cedric was the one falling, right?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, that all just comes down to him. So we have a little basketball shootout at the end.
Yes.
Because even though our purple is like in the lead shooting first.
Yep.
Who is it? Orange.
Mitch comes in. Yeah. Mitch comes in for Siva and he's doing underhanded throws and it is working for him. He gets 4 in a row. And
Eva
wins.
knocked some down. Eva was like, boom,
oh,
boom,
she was
boom.
3 in a row for Eva. She was killing it. But
yeah, then Mitch was able to just take the win. They take the ultimate win there, which was fun.
Right. And then Joe steps in for Loggy Purple and they get second place. And Cedric is like still falling in the ocean.
Cedric's still way out at that
Vula
point.
does not. No, they don't even toss a buoy into the basket. Don't even try because they can't even make it there.
They don't get it.
So they are headed to tribal again.
I know Cedric has steady hands. He's a surgeon. But there's probably something about balancing. I don't know. You're walking. He doesn't walk and do surgery. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
It didn't translate. Whatever
it was, Cedric was the reason they lost this challenge from a viewer perspective. And everybody is distraught when they get back to camp.
Teresa, I think people are checking the bench. I think that if there's nothing there, we just don't see it.
Yeah.
So we do see a moment where they're like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, what was your name?
Oh,
and they're like, looking around.
Hey, nice to meet you. Haha, I'm Star.
If it doesn't play out, though, like if it's just not part of the storyline,
there's nothing to show.
They're not going to show it to us.
Yeah.
Because I just have to imagine by now people know to look.
For sure.
Right?
After Michaela sat on that bench and threw a fit and did not get the idol, and then Sarah swam into the ocean and took it and won that season.
Hey, right there. That'll teach you. That'll learn you.
That'll learn you. So everybody at Vula's crying because I guess maybe Cedric is very well loved over at that tribe. He's like just really upset and apologetic and feels at fault. And everyone's like, it is your fault, but we love you. And we're sad that it's your fault.
Yeah, they were like, it is your fault. And we do not want to use that logic like we did last time. So we need to figure something else out. I mean, also, I think you're just crying, but you're like, are you serious? This is my Survivor experience.
Yeah.
We lost.
For sure. Yeah. They're like, oh no, we're that tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're never going to get a Flint. We're just going to lose. We don't get along.
It's so demoralizing.
Yeah.
And because of that, I am stunned that Cedric is never actually meaningfully in the conversation about who to vote out this week. It's not about we have to be the strongest tribe possible so that we can win a challenge. And Cedric was the weakest in this challenge. And so he has to go. Like nobody ever seems to, I'm sure somebody threw that out at some point, but it's not part of the edit. And I'm shocked. I'm like, this tribe really has no place to be strategizing like long term, like as if we're all going to make it to the merge. Like, who do we want there with us? It's like you need to figure out the right combination of people to get you a challenge win at this point.
I don't think they have that combination. I don't think it matters. I don't think there is a right. I don't think a Cedric is a definite yes or no. I don't think Stephanie was a yes or no to the challenge thing. I think that was just an excuse they came up with.
Yeah, but I guess I think Kevin is a definite yes to keep, and they do not.
You think?
Yeah.
You think because what? He's smart and he's good at puzzles?
I think he's really strong. He's like jacked.
I don't think he's that jacked because he had a shoulder injury.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that he came in that strong player, but I think he's not up to that. But yes, I see your point. Like Kevin is, you would think, is a person who might help you win challenges, but I think Cedric is too. Like I don't think there's a weak link.
I think Cedric was falling in the water a lot, and Cedric was the one who couldn't get up the ramp in the first challenge on the beach when they were, he's had a couple of moments, but he's well liked, and he seems to have a great social game. And Kevin is like
last week, it wasn't the puzzle that lost them. That they put the blame on the puzzle, but they lost it while they were struggling.
100%.
In the first part of the challenge, so that might have been Cedric. You might be right.
Yeah. But Kevin's like, Cedric, I'm still with you. It's got to be Say. I told you earlier, we got to get that idol back in the game. And I guess he's like, so that's it, Cedric. See you later. Not knowing how Cedric feels about Say, goes to Mary, and he's like, chill out, girl. Don't even play. I'm going to work my magic. You're good. And he does work magic for her, but not in the way that he thinks.
Not for himself.
Yeah.
He did not work magic for himself. Yeah, I get it. He wants to make a move, and he wants to have Mary be like, oh, Kevin saved me, right? So I get what he's doing, but he clearly missed how close Cedric and Say were. And that might be because he was doing that earn your supply challenge. Remember, he was off over there when they were making their core 4, and they just said, we'll bring Kevin in, right?
Yep.
So he did come in at the end there, and I think he forgot. I think he forgot that, right?
Yeah.
They brought me in. I was at the bottom. So when I say, let's get Say out, that doesn't necessarily mean. But he goes on to Justin and is like, yeah, we're good. All good. Mary,
we got to get that idol
chill.
back in the game. Yeah. And it's sort of like, I actually am not getting the sense that Justin and Cedric care as much as you that the idol's out of play. Like you're kind of saying a lot, like we got to get this idol back in the game, and everybody's just kind of like, okay, I hear you.
And I thought from last week's edit that Justin and Kevin had a thing. Because
Me too.
Justin kind of nod along. It doesn't seem like he's really adding anything in. He doesn't pipe up until another plan comes up later. Then he's real jazzed.
Wait, what's the other plan?
To get Kevin out.
Oh, yeah. Because Say, okay. So Cedric, I think, handles the situation really well.
Yeah.
Where he knows that Kevin wants Say out. He likes Say. He thinks of her like one of his daughters. Yeah. He goes to her and gives her, I love the way he plays this. He gives her half information. You should play your idol tonight. Always give half information and see if you can get away with it, right? So he's like, you should play your idol. And she's like, why? Who said my name? So then he has to tell her, like, it was Kevin. But I love that he didn't offer that immediately. Well, that's true. But I think he, doesn't want to get in Say's crosshairs.
Yeah. And he probably has no love for Kevin at this point, right? Like, he's protecting Say. Yeah. So he's like, it was Kevin. Yeah. And she's like, so then, that's all I need to know. I'm fine. I'm fine. I will hide my emotions. That's all I needed to know.
I will not say anything. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. So she goes right to Justin and she's like, I don't know if we can trust Kevin.
And she's all like, not this vote. I do want Mary out. And I do think she legit wants Mary out.
Oh,
If she
she
had kept her
hates
mouth
Mary.
shut, she would
Yeah.
have gotten Mary out and
Yeah.
saved Kevin for the next vote. But she couldn't keep her mouth shut. She was like, by the way, that Kevin. But this is when
Mm-hmm.
I think Justin lights up. Justin's like, oh, yeah, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
I
wait,
know.
what?
He goes to Cedric and he's like, I think we could take out Kevin. And I think Kevin's like a scary strategist. And I kind of think Justin is too. But he's like recognizing, like, oh, we might have a similar game and a similar way of thinking about this. So you're probably going to come for me at some point. Like, you're already flipping on this core four. That's not good. That's my move. I'm the one who's going to flip on the core four, and you're going to be out, Kevin.
And maybe he saw a connection between Kevin and Mary. Maybe that was obvious.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Because, so just take Kevin out. He seems to be the more strategic one of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Mary's not really the person you take out at this point.
Right.
If it's, I think Say would be the person to take out, but if it's not going to be Say, if you want to work with her, then yeah, honestly, Kevin's not a bad choice.
I still think it's Cedric, but that's just not even a thing.
Yeah, that's not an option. So you're wasting your breath with that one. That was not on the table. Not happening.
No. So we go to tribal, and it's like, is it going to be Kevin or Say, or is like something weird going to happen and it's going to end up being Mary? But it really feels like Kevin or Say. And Mary and
although
Say,
they are kind of talking, like, because Mary has no idea what's going on.
At tribal itself, it is very just like Mary or Say. Like, it's the two of them like going at each other. And Mary's like, the real smooth players in Survivor are a little incognito. And that's like an obvious dig at Say, because she lays it all out there.
Yeah.
And she's just like, she goes off again and just has this swagger about herself and her game. And she has the confidence of youth that everything she's doing is right.
Yeah. I do think, and like, hey, it's working, like, keep it up. But I do think that is a downfall, that you can't play dumb, right? In Survivor, you kind of have to sit at tribals and act like you don't know what's going on sometimes, or that you are the target when you know the vote has flipped. Like, that kind of downplay is important, and it doesn't look like she could do that, because that would have been gold if she could have just played this like she didn't know and then flip on Kevin. But she had to act like, no, I know what's going on, and even like let him know, like, you've already revealed, right? You've already revealed. So I'm like, that's not going to work come merge. That's not going to work when you have so many more people who are reading you.
Yeah. And then Say throws out this, I don't want the narrative to be that Mary and I don't get along. And Mary's like, is that a joke? What are you talking about? That is gonna be the narrative, sweetheart. Like, there's no
when have we gotten along? Like, there's no footage for that. So not gonna work. But I felt like Kevin's face definitely changed listening to Say. And ultimately, they weren't patient with, like, let's get Mary out now. They went ahead and decided Kevin be the vote.
Well, but really it's his fault. He should have been patient. But he was, like you say, he was so well positioned in the tribe. He like wanted to keep Mary because she was his ally, separate from this core four, but it bit him in the butt to like present another plan other than Mary. Like, Mary would have been an easy vote for him, but he threw out Say, and then that backfired and got him out. And Say does play her idol, and Mary has no vote. And there's one vote for Say from Kevin, and the rest are Kevin, and Kevin's gone.
Yeah, I mean, the upside is they burned Say's idol, so that's great.
True. Kevin got what he wanted, but he doesn't have a chance to reap the benefits. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree that I do think that this was the time that Kevin needed to make a move. I just don't think he did. He went about it.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, like, how could he have accomplished it?
I mean, if he lost Mary, if he voted Mary out, he's got no choice. He's the next one to go for sure. She was his only ally. He was at the bottom of that group. So I think what went wrong was Mary lost her vote, right? If Mary hadn't lost her vote and he just told Justin, maybe there was a way the three of them could have voted Say out and blindsided Cedric.
That's the only way. I think when Mary lost her vote, he had no chance.
Yeah, that was it.
Because we talked last week about how, Justin and Kevin felt like they were in the middle. And so they could potentially sort of ping pong between these two sides, get Stephanie out, go over to Mary and get Say out, then go over to Cedric and get Mary out, and just sort of choose their own adventure kind of a thing. But when Mary lost her vote, that sort of was not possible. So
yeah, but again, the way that Justin lit up at the idea of getting Kevin out, and everything else seemed like he was just nodding along to what Kevin said, I don't think Justin was really wanting to swing back and forth with Kevin, apparently.
Totally. But then I'm like, who's Justin's number one then, if not Kevin? Like, does he think Cedric's his number one or something?
I don't know, because he now needs to be best friends with Mary, because he's
100%
and Say is number one.
Yeah.
I don't think. Again, we only know what the edit is showing us, but that doesn't seem. He's now the bottom. Good. I don't think this was a great play for Justin. Is what I'm finding.
I don't think so either.
Here.
Yeah, I know.
I think Justin just put himself in not a great place. Even though Mary's like a shield to be like, we always want to get Mary out apparently, and we always want to get Say out apparently, but we don't.
Yeah.
Like Justin is like the next one you take out, because you keep Mary as a nobody. She's got nothing. And Cedric and Say are the duo that goes into merge together.
Yep. This tribe has put themselves in a bad position in many ways, because now they're going to probably lose the next immunity. And we're going to see them again. And then maybe we'll have to do like a tribe swap because they can't get it together. And then that would be, I think, a welcome change for someone like Mary, because I do think Mary has the skills to be good at this game. She's just in a bad spot on this tribe. She got off on the wrong foot. But if there were a tribe swap, I think maybe she can make inroads with other people. Say is going to be who she is wherever she goes. Yeah. But yeah, I don't see good things for Vula in the future.
No, for sure. Books and Quirks, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate
Thank you.
That.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Vula wins a challenge and doesn't go to tribal. At this point, it just seems like we will hit one more tribal, and then we'll swap a do and hopefully separate them and let them make other relationships.
I mean, watch Say and Mary end up on the same tribe. That would be something.
Well, they will be like, hey, we're here and we're ready to vote each other out.
So, exactly. Right. We are both free agents. Yes.
Guess what? We have wanted to vote each other out from the beginning. It is a bit of a hot mess, Teresa. Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
It's a bummer when you see like one tribe just really not working together, because that's just not a fun experience. And I spoke to Kevin, obviously, after his vote out, and that was basically what he said. He had a horrible first 10 minutes when he ripped his shoulder out. He talked about that medical. They did stop down for medical, even though they didn't show it in the episode. He was blacked out that whole time. He does not remember them popping it back into place. Awful. And then all of a sudden, he's on this tribe that is an absolute hot mess. So,
an absolute
not a fun experience.
Yeah. Next time, Mary's going to run away from Say. Don't know what's happening there.
What is this, David? What is that?
You have to imagine it's another Rome Saul situation where Say's just like following her around because the idol's back in play. And so Say's probably babysitting her and trying to make sure she doesn't find it. And Mary runs mad dash. I'm like, yes, hide in the jungle somewhere. I don't know how far you can really go and not get found.
I was like, is she just fed up? She's like, I'm just going to run away. Like, I can't. Oh, I love it. Yes, we've got.
And then we've got the blindfold challenge. They better put Say in the collar position, because she will scream so loud and direct them, and she will berate Mary.
She will yell. and she'll be so mad when they do not hear her. Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be
But she
gold.
has to be caller. I would hate to like give her instructions. If
Ooh,
she,
no.
the first time she runs into anything, she's just gonna be angry.
She's gonna go off, and she's gonna yell at the other
Oh,
people who are blindfolded. People are getting checked in the balls as usual by these railings that are just the
we love
perfect
it.
height. You know.
Perfect height. How did they get that height? Ah.
So I'm looking forward to next week.
I do love those challenges. That's super fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. Well, this season, great start.
It is a messy start. Yeah.
But I love everyone on this entire cast.
I know. They did a good job casting. There are a lot of good characters.
There really are. Yeah. I hope Star can get some friends. I don't
Yeah, I know.
people just
And
being
Mary.
else. So poor Chantel has lost 2 people from her
Oh,
team. How is it that she always loses? Like the first
and didn't
several.
she kind of do a different strategy this time?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean,
She
honestly,
was
our points are not far off. You do have a lead, of course,
because I have 4 on Siva. I
but
loaded
you're
my
not
thing.
that far ahead of us. Like we're still in
Okay.
the mix. You have
Yeah.
37. Chantal has 24. I have 23. So like
Okay.
we're all still in it, but I can't. I was like, seriously, both those first 2 boots were on Chantal's team, of
Yikes.
course.
Do you have a lot of Vulas on your team?
I forget.
Mm.
It's.
Do you have
I
Cedric,
thought I
Say,
had.
Mary, Justin?
I have Cedric
Okay.
and Mary.
Okay.
So just those 2.
Yeah.
Cedric and Mary, Eva, Mitch, Star, and Camilla. I mixed it up
Okay.
pretty well.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Come on. All right. I think we're back to normal schedule this week. We shall see.
Well,
Make sure that.
ish.
Oh, okay.
Because we do the Amazing Race tomorrow.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm talking about next week for the next episode.
Oh, for Survivor. Sorry.
Okay, let's not. Okay, so right now, tomorrow, we have the premiere episode of Amazing Race to talk about.
Yeah.
Then on Monday, we have the finale of Traders to talk about. This is a very busy weekend.
Yes.
Very exciting stuff. But then we should fall into our regular schedule of Thursday night Survivor,
Yeah.
Monday night Amazing Race. That will be our
That's right.
schedule moving forward. But make sure
Yes.
you are subscribed with the little bell notification so you know if anything changes. And all of you lovely people in the chat, we appreciate you being here live.
Yes, on a Saturday especially. And if you are joining us later, let us know how you feel about this switcheroo to get Kevin out and keeping Say in the game, and thoughts on Vula Tribe.
Yes. Oh my God. I did see it. Thomas's eye.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
preview.
Yes.
She got him good.
Sarah, you hit me right in the face with that
I
rod.
sure did.
And
And he thought, I think he, I was like, did his eye pop out? The way
he was like, am I bleeding? Yeah.
And she's like, no. So I was like, oh, okay. But it clearly got him good. He's got a bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
a like scraped black eye thing happening. That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, yeah. All right, you guys, we will see you next week. Bye. Well,
See
no,
you
we're
then.
going to see you tomorrow for Amazing
See you
Race
tomorrow.
and Monday
Yes.
and every day of your life. Okay, bye.